Okay. All right. We're knee deep in some very technical front end software engineering issues. This is like principal level problems we're tackling. Z index. I think we might need to just refactor the whole merge request diffs.
Probably, yeah. It's one of those things that's supposed to be easy. And yeah, just for the record, so
I'm complete. I have no idea. This is such a tough problem.
okay,
The actual
so
drop down. Oh, go. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'll go for it. I'll keep my thought.
So what I was going to ask was, does the lower the noise Ruby file, you were able to move the other ones around just by changing the position on the yeah. So we know that it is related to. I was making sure that the Z index worked the other way, and it does. We know it's on top of what's above it, like the index.js. So it's got to be the containers.
Yeah. One
So
more
what's
thing that caught my attention was if we're thinking about the position value that also comes into place in here. The element which is above, like on the bottom, I found that somewhere does actually have a position sticky attached to it. And position sticky, I definitely, yeah, there we go, is a little bit of a tricky thing. But see that? This looks like an overflow problem, I feel. It's weird.
Oh my gosh. What happened?
I'm just playing around with the position value here.
I look away for a second. I come back. I was like, oh man,
Broken.
It's worse now.
we're really dissecting the patient here.
If you remove the whole div from the noise RB, that's the end. What happens?
This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remove it. Okay.
Okay.
Put it back. Now, if you move the whole page up, you can do that or not. No, maybe if you put the let's see, the console in the other position instead of vertical. Yes, go up. Yes, and then hover on,
okay,
like that, and hover on the last. So I'm trying to see on the arrow down. Over here, yes, on the 16 line 16. Gotcha. Hover on that. Is click it or some. Yes. Okay, so it's going up. No, okay, doesn't matter.
Can you hit the last version drop down? And let's look at because that drop down works. If you go up outside of the code diffs, but if you hit the compare main and last version.
Yeah.
So this works. What's the Z index for these?
Disclaimer, I don't even know if this is the same GitLab UI component, but let's see. 300.
Good old 300. And so then, but below this then, or outside of this, is then you get all of our parent containers. So
have we set the Z index on the
wait,
parent container for the index.js just to see? We should be able to force that.
Let's see, this container?
Yes.
So there's nothing on there.
Okay.
So we would need to go with a low value.
I was gonna go for a real high value. No, okay.
The higher doesn't make sense though.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's this? Why is it grayed out?
It's a really good question.
It's probably grayed out because I think that number is too high.
Yeah.
The position static property prevents the index from having an effect.
Oh, because it doesn't have a position on it. It'd have to be on something that's a relative position.
No, yeah, because it's position static. Well, what else is position static though? Okay, so now this value is in place at least.
What element is that again?
Where we just applied this? This is the container of
whole
the
thing.
first file, the first diff, whatever, yeah.
Okay. Instead of a really large number, because there is a maximum, can we do just 9,999 and make sure we're not? Okay. So one thing I'm saying is this view recycle scroller, which seems, I don't know exactly. And maybe this is
Overflow visible, it says.
causing something.
Like what is, I don't know exactly what this thing does. What is making me start to think is that the view recycles folder is, I suppose, something that is kind of optimizing this page when we're dealing with like really, really long distance stuff.
Yeah.
And what I can see here is that regarding item wrapper and stuff, overflow values are definitely something that's being messed with. Which brings me, oh no, before we've spoken about the overflow, and we can overflow to the top, so that is, forget about the overflow. That is not what it is.
What's the scroller slot? Right above it has a scroller slot element. That's nothing, but there's actually something in it. It's not.
Yeah, a comment.
Okay. I just know that, okay, there's got to be, I feel like there's got to be some sort of z-index hidden behavior based on something special we're doing with diffs. Things that come to mind is like, we used to implement all of the diffs with tables. I don't think we use tables anymore, but like maybe we're using like grid or something, and maybe z-index playing with grid causes an issue, or
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. Like, I haven't seen either of those yet on this page. Definitely no tables, and nothing grid related that catch my attention. Yeah, I guess table.
If you click on the circle,
Yep.
okay, so it shows.
So and that is really, that's actually a good call, and one of those weirdest things. Like, as we can see in here, this is actually overlapping the exact same element.
yeah.
So
But do you see the classes? Do you see like diff TD and diff grid row? Like,
yes.
so we are,
Display table or something.
yeah, we're doing something like that. I think it's a CSS grid.
Display grid, yeah.
And I wonder, I'm just gonna do a search for like z-index and grid, if that causes any issues.
Okay, but that is actually a really good indicator. Like the fact that this drop down, so drop up rather, but never mind, is working and is on top of the exact thing that we want, does make me confident that there is something odd between those siblings.
Yeah. Just for fun, can we try walking up the parent of z-indexes again?
Sure. Like from the broken one, I suppose.
from there. So that one has a Z index set.
I'll put these to the side once more. I don't think we need it anymore there. Where is the
There it is.
initial one?
Yeah, there it is.
Is it?
Can we set it?
What is,
Well,
did we set that?
That's the max value. Can we set it to a sensible?
Okay. 9,000 should be enough.
I might want to go over 9,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
the index level's over 9,000. Alright.
So okay, we've got that. Let me
All right,
see
let's
if I can
walk
find
it up. Yeah,
elements once more. Deft tools.
we keep going.
So my
There we go.
concern is that the Z index is still dependent upon its parent Z index. So if a Z index of a parent is set, then the Z index of its child isn't overwritten by that. So
yeah, I think that might be what's going on. But I know we did this just a second ago. I just want to double check it.
Yeah.
I love the idea, but why does it then work in the same container?
So I think it works in this one because of the fix. So I'm thinking it's the fixed one, because what's happening is that anything lower in the divs are considered a relative but higher Z index from a draw perspective. So lower siblings are always drawn over higher siblings.
Because of the order, basically.
Because the order, yes.
I see. Okay, let's go for another tool then.
So the fix, I think, then would be if we can reverse the order of these in the HTML, but then do a reverse flexbox. That might, I'm joking. Don't want to do.
You are not funny.
Okay, let's walk up the DOM tree once more. So this is the broken item. Next one, it's gonna be that one. Nothing.
Okay, let's get rid of the style we added here.
Done.
But this is still adding one. So let's actually possibly. Yes.
Let's try removing it.
Yeah,
so make sure it's not being passed to anywhere.
Let me keep going up.
Let's remove just every Z index we can find.
Is there one on the? Do we need to look at computed to look for a Z index?
Very good call. Thank you. But I don't think.
Yeah, those are fine. We can go back up to the one that has the ID. Okay. We go. Oh, wait, what was that? That's a thing. What is that thing? File title container?
So this is the thing we're actually trying to overlap, like the exact same element. This is just the sticky one.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Do you want me to override it with like, what about?
I feel like since it's a sibling, I feel like it should be fine, but I really don't know.
The weirdest part about it is
it's a sibling, so I think it's not.
And it does have a Z index set from 120, but
it's not going to do anything.
This is what it looks like to me, yeah. Position static. Oh, position static property prevents Z index from having an effect. The problem with that is the thing that is overlapping does have a position static.
Can we set it to position relative and see what happens?
The overlapping element, so this one?
Either one.
Okay, let's try both.
Yeah.
Is that the right thing? Yeah. Oh, no, wait a second. This is position static. Okay. Yeah,
but
it is static and we wanted to set it to relative.
Well, I think we want to put the top one. Is this this?
This is the bottom one, and I'm now going for the top one. Position static. Position.
But is this the sibling of the containers of the two elements? Because they're probably in a collection of DOM elements. So just the full wrapper.
Okay, so yeah, what we've just been touching.
It's just the header, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
when it says about the static and relative not having a z-index, I think that's only talking about the z-index applied to that element. The z-index is around will still have effects even if I'm static. Like, so I don't think we need to touch the position nature of the headers.
Okay, then I just removed it once more.
I think so. Yeah, I think we can leave it like that. You know,
Let's carry on.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we've been playing around with setting a very large z-index. I'll remove it, position relative.
Do we have any other z-index being set on this thing?
Very good question.
No. Oh no.
Auto.
What the flip-flops is auto?
Is auto valid?
What is z-index auto?
I would have expected any kind of number. And I guess -1 is also valid, but auto?
Can we maybe change it to z-index?
It sets the stack order equal to its parents.
I'm out. I don't want to do z-index auto. Can we do z-index unset? Can we change it to unset?
Sure. I also removed the position. Okay.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what we get.
We're gonna leave that like that?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, and now we've left. Now we're at all of it. But let's go ahead and keep going. Okay, but then boom, here we go. Can we get rid of this z-index?
Do we want to override it or something, or just remove it?
If we remove it, it's not.
It's back to auto. Like that doesn't make sense.
Should be fine. It should be fine, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Jeez. So then that's it. I don't think this is it. Oh my gosh.
I'm glad it's not only me, but that really made me pull my hair.
It's content wrapper.
Yeah, this feels like a very high level by now.
We're adding a z-index to the body. No, yeah, it's got to. I would expect it to work. All right. The other thing that we could try to throw at this. Have you tested on a different browser?
Yeah, I did. We can do
Same
this.
thing?
Yeah, we can still do this in Firefox. DevTools are a little better when it comes to styles, but yeah, same thing. There we go.
Can we go ahead and open up the, yeah. And sometimes you can see the, oh, look how nice. Sometimes you can see the, if you go to like layout on the layout tab, you can see some cool, if you keep going down, like they have like a whole bunch of metadata information for like how they're painting the thing or whatever.
Overlay grid, box model.
Oh yeah, so look, you see like the box model properties has all sorts of cool stuff. So if we go to that one that has the z-index,
we should be in this, aren't we?
I think it'd be in the UL above it.
I'm confused. What is it doing?
Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, so this is also a little like regarding screen sizes. This is also behaving like but that is how this GitLab UI components work, and so that's kind of okay. But we will probably support wider screens as well. So there we go.
Yeah.
What is there? Okay, there's the dump. And get rid of this highlighting in here. Awesome.
So if you scroll down on the right-hand side to where we have like the box model.
Yes.
That's where we can see, I think the z-index is being applied to the thing. So then if we go
the inherited z-index probably.
Right. So if we then go to the UL, I think, or the top level div or of this, I want to see that one where we're setting it to like 1,000 or whatever.
Just looking for it.
There we go.
Is it? Where you see it? I'm missing
So
it.
I see
There
it
we
in
go.
style,
Yeah, okay,
but in box model properties, okay.
cool. So yeah, here we are.
Okay, so maybe it's one of all right, let's try something else then. Okay, are you ready for a crazy idea?
Sure.
Let's add a child to here and see if maybe it's a child of this element that's causing the layout to be weird. And so let's add a child to this element that's like a bunch of text, see if it hovers over stuff.
Okay, just a child to that element then.
Yeah.
Correct. That would go. Oh, this is.
I feel claustrophobic.
Yeah. Just below here, I suppose.
Below or above. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Block element, inline, doesn't matter.
Let's do block element.
Gotcha.
Good old but maybe we can give it a style of background red.
Just
An inline style, good old inline style.
absolutely.
None of these.
Background color red. That
Yeah.
should do a trick.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
And that's not showing up either.
Yes,
it's here.
over there.
But it's not hovering over anything.
No.
Okay.
Well, I still think it's what? Okay. Well, anyhow, it is still behind the block though. So the Z index issue. I see. Okay, because there is like this is another issue that we're having.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that is what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing, but yeah, the Z index thingy is not okay.
Okay. I'm now
But we're
thinking.
definitely not having an overflow problem. I can tell by now. Definitely not. There is another tool in Chrome that's supposed to be, there we go, layers. I couldn't really make sense of it as well. Like it does show the problem.
Oh, now
but
this tool.
What's that?
You've been holding this back, man. This seems really helpful. Look at that. That's so cool.
It is exactly representing what we are seeing.
It is. The problem is this. It doesn't have.
It's a little weird. Yeah, it's a little weird. But if we can find our little fella, I think it's is it down there at the bottom? Div base dropdown actually.
Yes. This is it. So we're having size, compositing reasons, overlaps, other composited content.
A sticky position constraint.
It is sticky position constraint.
Oh, wait a second. So I don't know exactly how this tool works, but I do have the suspicion, that would be so weird, that this would actually represent the stacked trace? Like the ordering of layers that we're putting on top of each other. So that would be the very first element, and then this one on top, and then that one on top, and so far. And this is making me super suspicious, as if this is on a very, very high level. Like only two more things should be above of it. Still, we are not displaying it directly. So I would assume if I, so this dropdown has a ridiculously high Z index. If I put it down, let's see what the layers tool does. this has 1,000. Let's put it down to index 5 important. And in the layers tool, it didn't move an inch. Well, great. Okay.
I think that I think it might be keeping track of like I think it's ordered maybe by like time that it happened or occurred or something. So I think as I like closed it and maybe reopened it, I think it would change. I don't know exactly what
Those DevTools, and yeah, maybe it doesn't update dynamically.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought I saw real fast, but I really don't know.
Here we go.
Yeah, I don't know what the ordering of the well, yeah, it did change the ordering of the thing.
Yeah, so that is not necessarily a proof, but an indication that my theory is not wrong regarding the trace.
Yeah. I've one other interesting thing to test. Can we test one more thing?
Yeah. I was yeah, go ahead.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, you just started your sentence like there's another problem I do have on my hand for this pairing session where we just move away and leave it as is.
Can we leave, please?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm totally nerd sniped by this. Not like find it to be like a very interesting, but just like I can't stand to be beaten by this. Like, and I'm not
agree.
I get that we're in camaraderie on that feeling. But can we create a comment on this bottom block? Just through the GitLab UI, just the old GitLab UI, you know, not a HTML comment, just an actual diff comment.
Yes. Which bottom block are you referring to?
Sorry, when I say the bottom, I meant just that bottom line of the one that has the code quality issue that we're run into code issues with.
This one?
Line number 1
of index.js. Yeah.
And then on the left.
Yep.
Okay, I see. Line number 1.
Yeah, and just in the GitLab UI.
Okay, just use the tools. I get it. Okay, now I see. Yeah, just fine.
All right, that's good. But I actually want to see because you can have a drop down show up while you're like writing a comment. I want to see if that hovers over stuff. You know what I mean? So if we do like we're gonna ping a user, that triggers a drop down.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know, man.
This is what you have to. Okay, so now I missed you. Well, let's see what kind of Z-index this thing has.
It's gonna be hard to. Yeah, you have to do the whole like. I think you can hit a button to like tell JavaScript to stop, and then you can find it.
Which button would that be?
If you go to sources, there's and then hover over like the pause JavaScript execution thing. If you hover over the pause button,
this one.
Yep.
Well, don't hit it yet, but you're good.
It's an F something, or is slash.
Oh yes.
Maybe.
Those are red, right?
Nice, but that worked out. So now we can keep it paused and hover over it. Yeah. This is at the bottom. Yeah, man.
What are you seeing?
So this is doing the add who containers add drop downs to the very bottom of the page, but keep updating the position of the element based on the target element. Like,
yes, understood. Yeah, it's just like an absolute thingy floating around, kind of.
Yeah, but you see, it's past everything, whereas our inline drop downs seem to
stay within the container.
Yeah. Here's another crazy idea.
I'm curious.
Do you want to see if we can recreate the problem and just a separate HTML page?
Absolutely, because not to point any fingers, but I'd be curious about getting the foundations team involved. But that is another issue I'm actually having. Like, explaining them to them is not trivial. So that would also be progress, definitely.
Yeah, maybe we can just create an index HTML page and then start adding blocks and put a little thing over here that should overflow like this and see what happens.
Yeah, very much so. Where would we do this? Just on my machine, spin up a little web server,
Yeah.
or any
Well, I mean,
web
I would just
IDE or
it
something?
doesn't need to be a repo. Like if you want to just create a index HTML, like a test
I can
HTML.
do that. Yep.
Yeah.
Just say
so I've gone ahead and replicated this actually.
Oh my gosh.
So I could send you the code.
You get this, or do you just want a screen share?
I mean, let me send you that so you can play around with it too. I mean, this is really basic stuff.
Do you want to post it in the front end pairs?
Yeah, that sounds great.
You can post it as a snippet in Slack.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and try to set us up.
Find front end pairs. There we go. Okay, so here's some HTML, here's some CSS. I'll get that for you.
Awesome, thank you so much. I'll be with it in a second.
It at least just demonstrates the problem, and the problem just is in that the ordering of
So does that mean you can actually reproduce it already?
So I can reproduce it, yes. And the issue
Awesome.
is that an absolute positioned element underneath a parent still uses the parent's ordering in the DOM. So with that, I almost think the real solution is probably to put these drop-down menus into something else that then gets positioned like a JavaScripty kind of positioned.
Yeah.
That might be the sort of ultimate solution, because you then don't have to worry about but what I'm showing here with this is that yeah, and you'll just have to have a style block.
Do we want to add a head and body and stuff? I guess not.
So you don't really need it.
Turns out you don't need a head or body.
Not for now.
So what I'm showing here is that the green is absolutely positioned, and it should be, we want it to be on top of header bar 2, because that's a second item. Whereas the absolute positioned element of underneath item 2, which is lower in the sibling hierarchy, is actually able to come in front of item 1, just by moving it around. And so that's kind of demonstrating what we were seeing earlier. And even if you change that Z index to the lower position, it doesn't change anything.
Well, it's tough because we went through and like undid all the Z indexes. So I'm really,
but I don't think the Z indexes are really going to fix anything. You could potentially change the Z index of that higher item and make it lower than the lower item, and that might do something. I need to check that real quick.
Probably not. Yeah. Can we through the browser, can we tweak some stuff?
Sure.
So if we're here, can we go to that second DD? Or yeah, just can we go
there's DD and DDT.
Yeah. So this one does not have a Z index set, right?
Yeah, none of them have Z indexes. The Z indexes were I did have Z index on the items. They both shared a Z index of 10.
Right.
Which if you remove,
if we have Z index of 1,000 here, can we try that?
Help me with the abstraction. Like our goal would be to put this green box in front of those 2 blue bars, correct?
So if you take the top level item and give it a higher Z index than 10, it will work.
This is the top level item?
And but don't change that one because it's shared across all the items. So just go to the element.style and change. Yep. Do Z index and do like 12, and that'll work.
Right. But this would cause an issue because you see how the
other one flipped.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it starts, yeah.
So it's good to point out that's not going to totally work. But
Yes,
we
because you have some of these where we want to display going upward, and so they're going to clip the higher indexes.
right. Can we go
So,
to, but we don't,
yeah, go ahead.
right now, you had said that if we apply a Z index to the dropdown, it won't do anything, but we don't have that here. So I just want to I want to see it for myself.
Yeah.
If you put
Yes.
the DD under DD, if you put in the Z index of 1,000. And so even like when we go to layout and stuff, it's saying if we go to layout of the layout tab, oh, it's not, yeah, man, geez, Louise. So Z index is going to take the parent. You can't have it escape the parent.
Then maybe you need to get the computed property instead of the one that is displaying the.
I think
because because probably the Z index is ignored, although it is displayed in this CSS.
Of which item are you referring to?
Nothing.
Okay.
Now, if you get rid of the position relative on the items, it works. The Z index is applied
Both of them.
on both. Yeah. So if you just get rid of position relative, it works.
But we need, okay.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes, but you need relative positioning.
Okay, can we get rid of can we add the relative positioning? Can we get rid of the Z index?
We get rid of the Z index and we add
that one. So that works. It works really nicely.
Means don't have a chain of Z indexes. Because it takes the Z index of its parent and treats that as now you're in a subcategory where you're just fighting within this Z index where to place things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So do we want to give it a try and see if we can apply this to the actual page?
Well, I feel like this is the exercise we did though. Like we were trying to go up the parents.
Yeah.
Did you already remove all the Z indexes up the parents?
That's what we did this twice, and it's possible. Like there's a lot of parents, so it's possible we missed something. But then again, it's like, okay, I mean, these indexes were added to solve other issues, so it's. I'm really wondering, is there some sort of like experimental Chrome feature that lets us overwrite all of this?
Force to the top. Yeah.
I know.
Like some Chrome feature we could use to debug, or some Chrome feature that is potentially causing this.
No, I meant a Chrome feature that might fix it. That's.
Gotcha. Let's move this. You know what? Let's move this tree up in Firefox. Maybe we get just out of desperation at this point. That's gonna be easy. So.
Oh my gosh! Oh wait, this is it. This is.
Tell me.
I don't have the solution, but I think this is the problem. So there's this thing called stacking context. If you jump into the Zoom link that I added, or the link I added on the Zoom chat. What the heck, Z index? Yeah. If you go, so this is very maybe similar to the kind of thing that's happening here. But the main thing is if you go back, if you keep scrolling down to creating stacking contexts, and keep going down to the next header. Okay, wait. If you scroll up, all right, we can map out these stacking contexts. R.tooltip has a Z index, but that value is only relevant within the main stacking context. It controls the parent context header and main are compared because main has a smaller z index. It shows up underneath. Okay, so keep going down. All of its children come along for the ride. So fixing the example, need to create a, so their solution was, we don't actually need to create stacking context for main. Without a z index, main won't create a stacking context and the hierarchy works like the stack. So then it talks about all the different ways we create stacking context. We went through the parents getting rid of z indexes, but look at all these other ones. Transform, like we use transform like ridiculous, and that whole like relative scrolling thing. If you go back to that creating stacking context, we use those rules like all throughout many of the parents. If you go back to the creating,
Sorry, yeah.
if you go back to creating stacking context, yeah. So it's like we had opacity rules. I know the headers have the sticky ones, but those are just the headers. We have the transforms. We have this will change rule set up on the parent tree. We only touch the index, but the stacking context still gets created with
you know what? You know what really makes me raise an eyebrow on this? The element that is overlapping does have a Z index, a low one, and a position sticky. And this page says no Z index needed for those values.
So yeah, look at the sentence before the list. So we've seen how create a stacking context by combining relative position and absolute position with Z index, but it's not the only way. So that's the thing is it's not just parent Z indexes. There's other ways that these stacking contexts get created. And things like transform, clip path, and opacity. And we've been like hyper optimizing, trying to optimize the render of these stuff. So we've kind of been sprinkling these rules around. And I think there's probably, even though we could remove all the Z indexes, there's a number of stacking contexts that are getting set.
So we've been doing the right thing, but not with enough styles.
Are you about to install an
No,
extension?
I'm just looking at it.
I don't know. I'll have to clip this from the recording so that IT doesn't find out.
Gotcha.
Get concerned about the security of your.
Well, is that with a? I don't wanna install an extension.
Delogging is a small price to pay for CSS stacking contexts.
Okay. Jeez, yeah, that escalated quickly.
I know.
So I have another quicker solution for you. Are you ready? Yannick?
Yes.
I think you're gonna like
yes, I am.
So one is it's worth what we just learned about stacking context. Somehow it's worth realizing and bringing to people that are touching this stuff that we're creating way more stacking context than we realize, and this can cause issues. But our dropdown, we can set, I'm pretty sure, I think it uses Popper or something, but you can set what it needs to treat as its boundary container. And you can, and so that it won't ever go below it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, basically making sure that this is never leaving the container to always be kind of dead state.
Yes. So it like somehow Popper is very, very robust configurations, but just making it so that we're always going to prefer overflowing above than below through poppers. That's probably, and it's not great, but that's a cheap way to do it.
Yeah.
Solve the immediate problem.
I'm taking workarounds.
Yeah. But yeah, I know we're at time, but man, the stacking context, I learned something. It's not just the index. Oh, that list of rules is, yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, very much so. Just leave if you need to be. Very last question is this: do you have any idea where I can find about this this option regarding the container and not to leave it?
Can you scroll down to the props? Keep going down. does it list out the,
Props. There we
Okay.
go.
and if you keep going down,
Toggle ID, category variant.
Placement.
place,
Align disclosure.
like it's
transformation.
just
Yeah, I've checked that. That is just the icon is align disclosure drop down with respect to the toggle button. That's
position
something different.
strategy might be related.
This looks much better, yeah. Set string position up strategy to be applied by computer position. It's too short for in. Let it position itself above its container.
Don't use pop anymore. Use this little cute little balloon guy.
Okay, I'll play around with that. That is definitely something to jump off of.
Yeah, I had thought at some point that we had exposed a bit more of the options, and that we might need to go all the way back to, you know, maybe we do need to expose something more in GitLab UI. Or fix the stacking context in MR diffs, which that's going to be way more challenging.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely an interesting problem to be having.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But thanks so much, everybody. That was good fun. Thanks so much for letting me pick your brains. I'll keep you posted when I find a solution on this.
Yeah, thanks. I think that there's something that we should share with the rest of fronting, because this is a very common issue that we're going to run into. So if you end up like with a comment or something explaining this, like I think there's a lot of knowledge sharing we can have with stacking context.
Yes, very much so. I'll see what I do. It's great that we can reproduce this thing by now. And yeah, maybe I'll just join the foundation office hours or something. I'm sure they're gonna love that.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Awesome. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you.